What really gets the film world talking, often it's, a really interesting horror film, especially when it starts making noise at somewhere like the Cannes film market.
Exactly.
And that seems to be what's happening right now with this new Indonesian movie, Melati. Revenge in Blood. Intriguing title.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how much buzz can build, like even before a trailer drops, right?
Mm,
Our source today, it's a pretty detailed report from Deadline,
right.
and it sort of lays out how this horror film is already being lined up to grab audiences, worldwide.
Yeah, totally. We're going to unpack that deadline piece, give you the essential info on Melati, Revenge in Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it as like your quick guide to why this particular Southeast Asian horror project is generating all this industry chatter.
Right. Get you up to speed.
Exactly. Our goal is just to pull out the main details, the story, the people making it, and why it's already standing out internationally. Okay, let's get into it. The Deadline article, it starts off with a pretty key business development.
Yes, it mentions SE Films International. They're based in London. They've picked up the worldwide sales rights for Melati.
Okay. Worldwide, but with a catch.
Well, yeah. It excludes Southeast Asia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and China, which is interesting.
Why do that?
Well, this kind of regional split, it often points to a specific distribution plan. Maybe they focus on Western markets first. Indonesian horror has done well there.
Ah, okay.
And then Catchplay, who we'll talk about more, handles the release in their, home turf where they're strong.
That makes sense. Strategically, yeah. So how far along is it? Like, are we talking years away or?
No, actually, the report says it's already in post-production.
Oh, okay. Post-production.
Yeah, so filming's done. They're in the editing suite doing sound design, visual effects.
Yeah.
All that stuff that makes horror, well, horrifying.
Right, the crucial finishing touches. And who can we expect to see? Any familiar faces for people who follow Indonesian films?
Definitely. The stars are Alexandra Gotardo.
Oh.
You might know her from the Losman Melati TV series, actually.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Dwi Sasono, he was great in Mended Tak Dangdut. And what's really interesting is Gotardo isn't just starring. She's also a producer on this.
Oh, wow. That's serious involvement.
Yeah, it usually means someone's really invested, passionate about the project.
Absolutely. That speaks volumes. Who else is behind the scenes making it happen?
It's quite a team.
Yeah.
Besides Gotardo, you've got Freddie Yeo. He worked on Westworld.
Oh, okay. Big name.
Yeah. Daphne Yang, also connected to Losman Melati. Xiao Yi Chen from Lost in Perfection. Pina Arwan. Pengapungin di Bukit Duri. And Nimin Musa, who was on Orang Ikan.
So a real mix of experience there.
Exactly. Different backgrounds, probably bringing lots of different skills and creative ideas to the table.
It's great seeing that Indonesian talent involved on both sides of the camera. Now, the director and writer, Mike Wuluan, his name rings a bell. He's got quite the CV, hasn't he? Especially in this genre space.
Oh, absolutely. Look, he co-produced Crazy Rich Asians, which was massive.
Right.
And he worked on Buffalo Boys and HBO Asia's Gris. But maybe the most relevant thing for Melati is his film Orang Ikan.
Okay, tell me about that one.
He wrote and directed it. It premiered at the Tokyo International Film Festival, pretty prestigious. And then Shudder picked it up.
Shudder, the horror streamer.
Yep, for North America, UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand. Getting bought by Shudder, that's like a big stamp of approval in the horror world. Shows he knows how to make stuff that genre fans really connect with.
Okay, that definitely establishes his horror cred. Now, here's something interesting. That title, Melati, Revenge in Blood. It sounded familiar, and the article explained why.
Yes, it's directly based on the 2023 TV miniseries, Lost in Melati.
Ah, okay. So it's connected.
Huge connection. It means there's already a story foundation, maybe even an audience who knows the world, the characters.
Right. So for you listening, this means there's probably existing lore, maybe some familiar themes the movie will dig into deeper.
Exactly. It's not starting completely from scratch.
So for those of us who are starting from scratch, what's the actual story here? What's Melati, Revenge in Blood about? What kind of scares are we looking at?
Okay, so the plot summary in the article centers on this guy, Fadil. He's the only one who survives some terrifying haunted house ordeal.
Oh, classic setup.
Right.
Yeah.
But then he finds out he's cursed by this figure, Melati. And she's got some serious powers connected to the end. Like, she uses its dark curse to get eternal life and resurrection abilities.
Whoa, okay. Resurrection. That's a big one.
Yeah. So Fadil, he's initially all about revenge, puts together a team of killers,
Standard action horror trope.
Kinda. But then, as he learns more about the end and Melati's powers, his goal shifts. He starts thinking, maybe he can bring his dead wife back.
Ooh, Okay, that adds a whole other layer. Very dangerous territory.
Totally. And that apparently leads to this big, violent conflict as he really confronts what the inn can do and probably the price of it all.
Sounds intense. That mix of haunted house, curse, revenge, and this high-stakes resurrection angle.
Yeah, that sounds compelling. Now, we mentioned production stuff earlier. There was another company involved, right, with the rights?
That's right. Catchplay. They're co-producing, but importantly, they're holding on to the distribution rights for those specific areas. Southeast Asia, China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan.
Ah, the ones SE Films didn't get.
Exactly. So Catchplay has that key regional focus. And the project also got support from the Singapore Film Commission through their Media Enterprise Program.
Which is usually a good sign, right? Government backing.
Yeah, it often means support for the local industry, helps with funding, resources, that sort of thing.
It's always good to hear from the creators themselves. The deadline piece had some quotes. What did Mike Wuluan, the director, say?
Yeah, he had some interesting things to say. He called Melati an Indonesian horror icon with strong local folklore roots.
Okay, so leaning into the local culture. Definitely. And he said he's excited to show the story in a bold and stylized form of Asian action horror and expand the Lost Melati universe. He also mentioned being keen for international audiences to see Melati's trials and tribulations, suggesting she's a really central, maybe complex character.
Makes sense if the film's named after her.
Right. And he thanked Catchplay and the Singapore Film Commission and said he was happy to be working with SE Films again.
And what about SE Films? Simon Crow, what was his take?
He sounded really enthusiastic, mentioned being thrilled to work with Mike and Infinite Studios again and partnering with Catchplay. He described Melati as gripping, atmospheric, and wildly original. Called it, let me see, bold, high-concept horror that international audiences are hungry for.
Wow, okay. That's a strong pitch from the sales guys.
Yeah, exactly. And Xiaoyi Chen from Catchplay basically echoed that. Said they're excited to take the story global for horror fans. They seem pretty confident that with SE Films involved, Melati will scare the whole world with her darker power and curse.
They really believe in its international potential then.
Seems like it. They're not holding back on the hype.
So if you happen to be at Cannes right now, lucky you, there's actually a chance to see something from the film.
Yes, SC Films apparently has a first promo reel ready for viewing there.
Oh, okay. And for anyone listening who doesn't follow the industry side, that's a big deal, right? Showing footage at Cannes.
Oh, yeah. It's crucial. Distributors, buyers from all over the world get their first proper look. It's where you build buzz, secure those distribution deals for different countries. It's a key step to getting the film out there.
Right. Makes sense. Okay, so let's start pulling this together. As we wrap up this first look, what are the absolute key things for you about Melati? Revenge and blood.
Well, the main points are, it's a new Indonesian horror film. It's got no Indonesian actors, plus a director with real horror experience. That Orang Ike and Shutter connection is important.
Right.
It's also smartly building on an existing TV series, Lostman Melati, which gives it a head start.
Yeah, built-in lore.
And significantly, it's already making waves internationally, getting sales attention at a huge market like Cannes. All that together, it suggests this film has real potential.
And what parts of it grab you the most? What seems particularly intriguing based on what we've heard?
For me, it's that specific mention of Indonesian folklore by the director. That, combined with the promise of supernatural horror and stylized action. That mix could be really unique, you know, culturally specific, but also high energy.
Yeah, that blend sounds cool.
And also the themes. Revenge is classic, but adding eternal life, the power of resurrection, that taps into some deep, primal stuff.
Yeah.
Could be more going on beneath the scares.
Definitely. So a final thought for you listening as you think about Melati. Revenge and blood. What specific bits of Indonesian folklore could they be weaving in here, you think? How might that play out?
Yeah.
And how do those powerful themes, revenge, wanting eternal life, wanting to bring someone back, how do they mesh with this idea of bold and stylized Asian action horror? It's an interesting mix to consider. Definitely keep an eye out for more news, trailers, maybe some early buzz from Cannes.
Yeah.
It really sounds like Melati. Revenge and blood could be one to watch on the international horror scene.